So as you can see, I actually have my Audi R8 back with me. Some of you may have noticed over the last couple of weeks the lack of R8 content on the channel, and there's a very good reason for that. Over the past 3 weeks, the R8 has been stuck in a garage all the way in Somerset with a number of issues. The car was diagnosed with 2 misfires, a wiring harness fault and cylinder deactivation. Not a simple fix for the mechanic at all, but I'm pleased to say the car is now back and running better than ever. These faults first became apparent not long after I installed the Quicksilver exhaust. It was around a week or so after the installation that this car started playing up with the check engine light and the EPC light. At first I thought it was dodgy fuel, so I filled the car up with 99 RON fuel, cleared the codes, all seemed fine, but no. But no. However, before long, these faults were becoming permanent with the car. No matter how many times I cleared the fault codes, they would pretty much instantly come back. Sometimes I could chance it and I would be lucky for around 10 miles or so of trouble-free motoring. However, before long, both lights would come back and make this car run like an absolute piece of shit. At this point, I began to suspect the exhaust. I couldn't think what else it could be, and that was the only big change. Maybe the lack of secondary cats was causing a fault with the ECU. However, thanks to a software called VCDS, I was able to diagnose the gremlins within the ECU. The faults were that I had 2 misfires, some kind of electrical fault on the fuel injectors, and something about cylinder deactivation. So essentially, my car was a V6. Luckily for me, however, this car came with a 3-month warranty from the dealer when I bought the car. So what work has been carried out on my Audi R8 in the 3 weeks or so that it has been out of my possession? Well, the car has been all the way down in Somerset, being diagnosed over many weeks. The first issue was the ECU. It is located within the engine bay, so it is very, very exposed to the elements. That was sent off to a specialist to have 2 diodes replaced. Once the ECU was fixed, the mechanic plugged it in and with his fingers crossed started the car up, and one of the 2 misfires was gone. However, there was still 1 misfire on cylinder 6. Not exactly the outcome we wanted, so he then began to suspect a kind of break in the wire, so took off the entire inlet manifold to try and find a broken wire, which didn't exist. He then came to the conclusion that 2 of the injectors were sticky. So the car's had 2 new injectors, and yeah, whilst he had the car, he also gave it a full oil and filter and air filter change as well, just while it was in his workshop. But yeah, so that is exactly what has gone on with the car. 2 new injectors and 1 repaired ECU, and fingers crossed, all those little gremlins have finally moved out of the R8, because I really want to start enjoying this car now. Now, although this video is titled "My R8 is back with a big bill," he hasn't actually put the final amount on the invoice. However, he has explained all the work that has gone on, such as the ECU repair and the 2 injectors. Now, I don't even want to begin to imagine how expensive repairing that ECU would have been, so just kind of make that up if you like. However, the price of 2 injectors I found is actually quite reasonable. From TPS, 2 injectors is £290 plus VAT, so that's not actually as bad as I thought. However, these are costs that thankfully I didn't have to cover. Plus, you've got to take into account the guy's hourly rate and how long he had the car. Again, things I don't know, but as you can imagine, on a car like this and how long it took him, it's going to be pretty extortionate. Oh my God, doesn't it feel good to be back in the R8? Wow, I have truly missed this car. For the 3 weeks it has been away, it has been absolute torture. I have missed this gated manual gearbox, which sounds so good and so mechanical, but I'd also forgotten just how loud that Quicksilver exhaust is. Oh my God, it's monstrous, it's so loud. And also, now I can fully use the 415 brake horsepower that this car comes with without the dreaded engine light. Let's go again. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try and shut that up a minute whilst I talk to you guys. But yeah, For the last 3 weeks, I've been daily driving my Renault Clio, and then of course the new edition of the MX-5. I have missed having this much power, and of course that naturally aspirated V8 in my life. Now, it's also worth mentioning that when I was having these faults, as I previously mentioned, they were roughly around a week or so after I installed the exhaust. So initially I suspected the Quicksilver exhaust to be at fault, maybe because it doesn't have secondary cats, it was causing an issue. That's what I thought, but thanks to VCDS I am so glad I was able to diagnose the car without going through the faff of removing the Quicksilver and then installing the standard one, because how depressed would I have been if I'd done all that work and then the faults were still there. But anyway, the car is back, the car is freshly serviced, although it does need a litre of oil, and it's so good to have it back. It's just an absolute beast. The thing is, with the car being away for so long, I'd kind of forgotten about it. You know, almost like that when the car was re-delivered to me, it was like buying the car for the first time. Like every day I'll come outside my house, and even though I don't drive it every day, I do see it every day. So it becomes a little bit, you know, you get used to it, if that's even possible with this car. But yeah, having it taken away from me for so long has just made me rekindle my absolute love for it. Oh my God, what an absolute ridiculous car. It's such a sense of occasion. I absolutely love it. And now I can finally use the car as intended with hopefully no more faults. Say, the faults I was having with the EML light and all that, I think it's EPC and then the occasional engine light on together in unison, which just drove me insane. The car run like an absolute piece of crap, and it was massively down on power, which was really embarrassing. But now the car is all fixed and I can use it and enjoy it, and hopefully it doesn't break again, because I am now out of the warranty period. So that does scare me a little bit, not gonna lie. The thought of having big bills with this car just absolutely terrify me, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that this is going to be a reliable car and be kind to me and my bank from now on. So as you guys know, I do like to be as transparent as possible on this channel, which is why I'm bringing you guys this video, because you buy a car like this, which is now what, 12 years old, and you do encounter the odd supercar kind of problem. This is quite a major one, as it affected the ECU and 2 fuel injectors. I can only imagine how much that would have cost. Thankfully, I didn't have to fork out that giant expense. But it is kind of to be expected with cars like this, and if maybe you're thinking of buying one, you know, it's quite a likely, well, unlikely thing to happen, I would say. The ECU thing I can completely relate to, because for some reason the ECUs are located just to the side of the engine behind the carbon fibre blades, so they are very exposed to the elements. A lot of water gets in there, a lot of dirt from the road, so I have no idea why Audi decided to put them there. But yeah, they are very, very vulnerable, which is a shame really. But doesn't matter, that ECU has been fully repaired, shouldn't be going wrong anytime soon. The sun is out, it's finally stopped raining, and I'm on my way to Cafe the Machine for the first time in my Audi R8. Now that, to me, I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, I haven't yet taken this car to Cafe the Machine, and it is actually a dream of mine to turn up to that venue in a nice car. Like, before I dreamt of an E92 M3 and I would always obsess over them, and then to turn up in one was an incredible feeling. Now, after years of obsessing over the Gen 1 R8 and seeing them parked up at Cafe the Machine, it's a real big occasion for me to now turn up in mine. And last time I went caffeine, it was actually torture, because I met up with another R8 owner who had a black one with like a GT3 kind of diffuser, and it was absolute torture for me. It was like someone had taken a child away from me. To see his car just parked there was bringing back all sorts of memories, and I was absolutely gutted I couldn't go in this car. But I'm going to rectify that today hopefully I can get a good car space, gonna get some good photos, and yeah, also that exhaust, you can probably hear, it's a little bit drony, isn't it? I'm doing 60 mile an hour, and I'm really trying to feather it to make sure the audio's okay. I just wanna, there's a tunnel here, so bear with. Jesus Christ. I can't stop grinning. It's an Audi R8. It's like, it's my childhood dream car. And now I get to, I've got it back and I get to drive it. And that to me hasn't really sunk in. Like, although this is my car, it doesn't feel like my car. It feels like any moment now, someone's gonna turn up and just take the keys and take it away from me, which is a really weird feeling to have. It's just, I can't explain it, really. It's just everything, really. So there we have it then, guys. The R8 is back in my imaginary garage, joined by, of course, my daily, my Renault Clio, but also my newly released on YouTube Mazda MX-5, which that car is an absolute riot. I'm having so much fun with that car. It's going to be interesting now to see how much I drive it now that I've got this car back, but yeah. Either way, I am absolutely buzzing to have this car back in my hands where it belongs, and it's just an absolute thrill to drive and to own. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video just to explain where the R8 has been and what exactly has been wrong with it. I do like to tell you guys everything, and this is just part of R8 ownership, I guess. But yeah, that is where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I'm going to have a nice little cruise on down to Cafe Machine, enjoy the car, and yeah, learn the ropes, because obviously I've been without it for so long. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you as always for the support. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future upcoming videos with the Audi R8 and of course the Mazda MX-5. Thank you once again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.